What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So there was a very small data download on Global earlier today, which actually revealed even more information that's coming along tomorrow after the treasure map Smoker completes, and it does debut the Stampede Luffy. It actually is going to be revealing a brand new island that's going to be coming out, which involves the super evolution of Douglas Bullitt. I was not expecting Douglas Bullitt's super evolution to drop as quick as what it did. It only dropped 1 week literally after his release. I would have thought for sure that we would have had to have waited maybe 2 weeks for the super evolution, but I'm all for it because his super evolution is just a better version of the character, which is really cool. I'm very much looking forward to it. I want to put this out the way though, that in case you guys don't know, I'm actually going away on vacation for about 2 to 3 weeks, starting from the 23rd of January all the way to the 12th of February, and I will be having a few scheduled uploads throughout that time period while I'm gone. But any content that releases during that period, I obviously am not going to be bringing you guys content on that because I will be away. So hopefully you guys understand, and hopefully I can have a vacation without having to spend too much time playing Treasure Cruise, but hopefully you guys understand. But putting that out the way, I digress. Let's actually talk about what's coming in this brand new data download. So of course, it's the super evolution of Douglas Bullitt. So Douglas Bullitt, most of you guys already know what he does right now, but just to give you just a quick brief rundown, he is for 3 types: strength, quick, and int. 4 times. He also gives him a 1.2 HP boost. His own attack is boosted by 4.5 instead of the 4 times, so he himself does a lot more damage. These orbs are beneficial to these characters, which is fantastic, and he also is beneficial against every single type, so he always has type advantage, which is the big draw to the character. So he having type advantage against all types and also boosting his own attack by a very large multiplier makes him very strong. Now, in terms of his special ability, it will only cut one enemy's HP by 20% that goes through damage negating abilities, and also the damage that he deals during that turn will be multiplied by 2 and dealt as AoE damage towards the enemy for 2 turns. So that's a very strong ability, especially because he is super effective against all types, which means that with this multiplier and this effect, and it just makes this ability does so much damage. So that is a very brief rundown of the character. Most of you guys already understand what he's all about, but then when he super evolves, he does get slightly better. It's really weird, man. I don't really understand the whole idea of introducing a super evolution so quickly, but I guess it just brings more content to the game, because this is a super evolution that you have to farm specific skulls for. These are very specific skulls. You can only get them from this island that will come out. Now, unfortunately, because I will be away, or I will about to be going away when this island actually drops, so I won't be able to bring you guys a video breaking down this island or any other islands that come out throughout this next period. But just mind you that you should be farming this up, because they're only available on this island. Now, they should, on Global, it should be going into the unlockable missions following this island's departure from the game. I expect that to happen, as all Super Evolution islands have done the same thing. But just mind you that on JP, I don't think this has ever returned, or it might have returned once. I don't actually remember when, but I know that these skulls are very sought after, so make sure when this event comes out to farm these skulls. Even if you don't have Douglas Bullitt, it just means that in the future, whenever you do end up pulling the character, or if you end up pulling the character, I hope for your guys' sake that you can, then you can super evolve him straight away. But talking about this character and what is his buff compared to his original version. So he is still a 4 times attack to strength, quick, and int. He still gives them 1.2 times health. However, he boosts his own attack by 4.75 times instead of the previous version being a 4.5 times boost, which is so good, right? This is a very nice addition to the character. He still makes those orbs beneficial to his types that he boosts, which is good, and he is still super effective against all types. Now, as for his special ability, it does have a very minute change, so it cuts the HP of all enemies by 20%. That ignores damage negating abilities. So this is a very small change, previously being only to 1 enemy. Now it is AoE, 20% health cut through barriers, and he still does 2 times the damage that he himself deals with normal attacks for the next 2 turns at the end of the turn towards all enemies. So because he has a higher multiplier, of course, this is going to be doing more damage, and because he cuts all enemies' HP by 20%, it means that you have a higher chance of KOing a lot more enemies with his special ability. I actually didn't notice, so does the cooldown change? Yeah, 15 turns, so it's still still the same cooldown, 15 turns, which is quite fair for what he does. It's a very, very strong ability. And everything else is essentially the same. So, look, it is what it is, right? He is just a far superior version from the previous character that came out. So, definitely you should be farming up these skulls to super evolve this character. Now, this is not the only thing that will be debuting tomorrow on the 22nd of January at 1900 PST time. So there will be a brand new Fujitora that will be available from Chopperman missions. So this will be a brand new island that releases. It's very similar to when we had the Black Blade training event where you could farm the swords EXP items. This time around, you're farming Navy pistol items, and through Chopperman missions, you can get your hands on this Fujitora. Also with Chopperman missions, there are very specific limit break materials for this Fujitora, so you're going to make sure you check out the Chopperman missions and do enough runs on this, because you will want to probably max him out. So 11 turn cooldown is very good after his limit break. He gets so much cooldown with his limit break. 50 times attacking, quick damage to all enemies. He's a 2.75 chain locker for 2 turns, so multi-turn chain lockers are always useful to have, and changes block orbs on driven into matching. So the orb manipulation doesn't really matter. The main draw to the character is this. The 2 turns of 2.75 is very, very nice. So make sure to farm him up. He's going to be available from the next island that comes out. Again, it will be out tomorrow, and I will not be able to bring you guys a video on it. Unfortunately, I really wish I could, but unfortunately not the case. So the next thing that we're going to be having a look at is this character right here. This is sort of going back and forth to what we talked about earlier, but is a Stampede Usopp, because of course there is no rare recruit Stampede Usopp yet, and that's because this character is not a rare recruit. He's actually a free-to-play character, and the way to actually get this guy is by farming the Super Evolution Island of the Douglas Bullitt Super Evolution Skull. So if we go to Unevolved version and we see drop location, the world's strongest bullet, which if we go ahead and click the drop menu, this is actually where you go ahead and pick up his Super Evolution Skull. So this is the game with page right now, and it says here, after 10 runs of clearing the Super Evolution Island, you get given this Usopp. So what this Usopp actually does, so he is a strength shooter with no secondary class. Let's go to his evolved version. Yeah, strength shooter with no secondary class, 3 socket spots. Stats are actually pretty bad. Captain ability, boost attack of shooters by 2 times and makes strength dex, psi, recovery, and tandem orbs beneficial for shooters. Okay, he reduces paralysis by 1 turn. This is for the entire team, by the way, so that's a pretty nice little hefty sailor ability he's got. 12 turn cooldown, so he comes at max special, cuts the HP of all enemies by 7%, and delays all enemies proportional to the number of enemies on the stage when you launch the special. So the note basically says the delay is equal to the number of enemies on the stage. So what this means is when you launch his special, if there are 5 enemies on the stage, he delays all enemies by 5 turns. So this can go up to a maximum of 6. This is pretty freaking awesome, especially on top of the fact that he does health cut all of the enemies as well. So this is like a really like unique sort of character. So I'm really looking forward to this. Like there aren't too many situations where you're going to use this guy, but like one thing that I just thought of, like in a hypothetical situation, like what if you're running a Douglas Bullitt team, you could run this Usopp, which would delay all enemies by a pretty good amount of time, and then you could run someone like Strength Katakuri, which can give you a delay conditional boost. Both of those characters can be run on Douglas Bullitt teams, and because he delays them by a pretty good amount of time, and Katakuri is a 2-turn conditional boost, you can get up to 2 turns of a 1.75 free conditional boost. So that's just one situation that you could use the character. So that's really, really nice to know that this character will be available. You have to do 10 runs. Once again, 10 runs of the Super Evolution Island to get your hands on this Usopp. He comes at max special, which is good. And then once again, the Fujitora that we talked about earlier, I don't remember how many runs you have to do, but you do have to do quite a hefty amount of runs to not only get the character, but you also want to go ahead and max his limit break, which is going to be very, very important. As of me recording this video right now, it's the final day of Treasure Map Smoker. Make sure to rank in the top 5k on New World to get your hands on the Stampede Sanji. A lot of people were still wondering about what this Sanji actually does. Make sure to go ahead and try and rank up as high as you can to get this Sanji, because he is very good. So he is an int fighter powerhouse with 5 socket spots after his limit break. He is a 3.25 times fighter captain with 1.2 times health, and int orbs are beneficial for fighter characters as well. So if you don't have a very good fighter captain, this is a pretty good option for that. For a regular 5-star character to have a 3.25 captain is very good. He also makes int orbs beneficial for fighters as a sub, which is very nice. 14 turn cooldown, so he doesn't need 3 skill ups. No, he comes at max special, sorry. So after his limit break, he gets the 14 turns, which is great. Deals 90 times his attack as typeless damage to one enemy, so that's fine. If the captain is strength, quick, or int, Douglas Bullitt, boosts the attack of Strength, Quick, and Int by 1.75 for 2 turns, and gives you a 1.75 orb boost also for Strength, Quick, and Int. So once again, make sure to farm this guy up because, or make sure to get into that rank to get this guy because this guy is very good. He does have 5 turns of Reduce No Healing and 5 turns of Slot Bind, so nothing crazy there, but this character is really cool, and he's not going to be like super duper useful, but he is nice to have for sure. To have a free 1.75 attack and orb boost to 3 types in the game is pretty good, especially because it is for 2 turns, and the fact that he boosts Int as well means that you can run someone like V2 Ray Dofi on your team, and you could get up to a 4-turn 1.75 attack and orb boost. So that's a pretty cool situation you could be in, especially because Douglas Bullitt is driven, so you could actually use it with Douglas Bullitt as well. So that's a really cool synergize, combo you could do with those characters. But all in all, man, I'm really looking forward to this because the super evolution for Douglas Bullitt is just way better. Obviously tomorrow we've got Stampede Luffy coming out, so look very much forward to that. I will be doing some multi-pulls, and I'll either post I don't know if I'll post them on YouTube, I might, but definitely look forward to it. And of course it's not going to be a very high quality video, it's just going to be my screen recorded most likely, but I will be doing 3 multi-pulls for the Stampede Luffy Sugo Fest, so definitely look forward to that. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and once again remember, I will not be here between the 23rd of January and the 12th of February, but I will be having scheduled uploads throughout that entire period, so make sure to stay tuned for that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.